All right, some massive news just hit the pharmaceutical world, and it could signal a huge shift in how some of the most advanced medicines get to patients. We're talking about a global giant teaming up with a local champion, and we're going to break it all down.
You know, it really all boils down to this one critical question. If you're a company with world-class products, how do you actually get them into the hands of the people who need them, especially in a market as vast and, let's be honest, as complex as India? That's the strategic puzzle we're going to unpack today.
So first up, a pharmaceutical power-up. The big headline is a brand new strategic alliance that's really set to reshape access to critical medicines all across India.
At its heart, the deal is pretty straightforward but incredibly powerful. You've got Pfizer, the global R&D powerhouse, partnering up with Cipla, an absolute titan of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. And their shared mission? To market and distribute 6 of Pfizer's most innovative, patented therapies.
Okay, so let's meet the partners in this deal. Because to really get why this is so significant, you have to look at the two companies involved. It's just a perfect example of what you'd call complementary strengths. This slide really lays it all out. I like to think of it as a key and lock situation. Pfizer, well, they bring the key, these cutting-edge medicines that are born from billions of dollars in research and development. But Cipla holds the lock. They have that deep local know-how and a sprawling distribution network that can unlock literally every corner of India. Simply put, Pfizer has the what and Cipla has the how.
Which brings us to our third section, the access challenge. See, this partnership is all about solving a core problem. For a company like Pfizer, inventing a breakthrough drug, well, that's only half the battle. The other, arguably harder half, is actually getting it to the patient. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. Pfizer's own leadership in India has been crystal clear about this. The goal here isn't just about sales numbers. It's about speed and scale, getting therapies to patients faster no matter where they are. This quote just perfectly sums up their main motivation.
And you know, this strategy is built on past experience. As this timeline shows, this isn't exactly Pfizer's first rodeo trying to crack the distribution code in India. They had a previous partnership that ended back in 2021. So this new alliance with Cipla, it really represents a fresh, more ambitious take on solving that same persistent challenge.
So, what we have here is a classic win-win deal. This isn't just Pfizer finding a solution to its problem. No, this is a two-way street. The whole thing is structured to be a massive win for Cipla too, creating this really cool, symbiotic relationship.
So how does it all work in practice? Well, it's a beautifully simple 4-step process. Step 1, Pfizer brings the products. Step 2, Cipla brings its ridiculously powerful sales and distribution machine to the table. Step 3, the products get co-branded, which leverages the trust people have in both names. And the end result, Step 4, wider, faster access for patients. Simple as that.
And listen, we're not talking about minor products here. This portfolio includes some absolute blockbuster therapies for some of the most challenging conditions out there. We're seeing treatments for complex respiratory diseases, advanced cancers, severe skin issues, and even critical infections. These are seriously high-impact medicines.
And that right there, that's the big win for Cipla. I mean, think about it. Overnight, their sales force gets to represent some of the most innovative drugs on the market. This massively strengthens their own portfolio, especially in these high-growth areas like cancer treatment and dermatology. And they get to do it without spending billions on their own R&D. It's a fantastic move.
Okay, so finally, let's zoom out and look at the real impact on India. Beyond all the corporate strategy and business talk, what does this alliance actually mean for patients and for the market as a whole? Because the implications here are pretty significant. Now, a key piece of the puzzle here is that co-branding strategy we mentioned. By putting both the Pfizer and the Cipla logos on the packaging, they're doing something really smart. They're combining Pfizer's global reputation for cutting-edge innovation with the deep-seated trust that the Indian market has in the Cipla name. It's really the best of both worlds right there on a single box. And this is where the impact becomes real for people. This deal provides a massive boost to advanced treatments in 3 critical areas, as you can see right here on the chart. So for patients who are battling complex cancers, or severe skin conditions, or tough respiratory diseases, this partnership could dramatically shorten the time it takes for them to get a global standard of care.
So, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. This entire complex corporate maneuver is really designed to solve a very human problem. It's all about closing that frustrating gap that so often exists between a scientific breakthrough in a lab somewhere and a patient actually receiving that treatment in a clinic thousands of miles away.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future, doesn't it?
As medical innovation gets more and more complex, and as global markets become more and more important, could this Pfizer Cipla model, pairing global R&D with local distribution mastery, become the new blueprint for how medicine is delivered around the world? It is definitely something to watch.